Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm David Molko. That captain is with the Camas-Washougal Fire Department and was the one to notify 911 his wife was in trouble. But now detectives say his story does not add up. Ashley Graham has more from Washougal.
On January 8th at this home in Washougal, police say Kevin West called 911. He's a fire battalion chief for the Camas-Washougal Fire Department in Southwest Washington. West said his wife was having a seizure and had stopped breathing.
Was just watching everything unfold and ended up finding out that Marcy had passed, and that was very sad to hear.
Tabitha Schaefer lives next door and heard West's wife, Marcy, had passed away on January 8th.
They're very neighborly, lovely family.
But soon law enforcement was back at the house.
Undercover police in his driveway and bringing out items, I would assume, as evidence.
Krista Paris lives further down the street. She saw the officers coming and going. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says they took over the investigation, and several people said they were concerned about the couple's relationship and worried Marcy's death wasn't a seizure at all. Then in March, the medical examiner determined Marcy died from asphyxia and trauma to her neck.
Yeah, you're kind of just in shock. Like, is it really happening? Is this really happening? Especially in, Washougal, our neighborhood. It's quiet. It's nice.
Ashley Graham's reporting there. West is now charged with first-degree murder and scheduled to be in court on Monday. The city of Camas says he's worked there for 22 years. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, a man has been arrested for murder accused of attacking someone on Portland's East Bank Esplanade. It happened early this morning under the Hawthorne Bridge. Tonight, police identified the suspect as 29-year-old Abel Nister. Investigators say several bystanders tried to intervene during the assault, including firefighters stationed nearby. The victim has not been publicly identified. We now know the name of the 4-year-old boy police say was killed in a drunk driving crash with his mother behind the wheel. Authorities have identified him as Kingston Costin. Today, his mother, 27-year-old Angelina Minor, appeared in court. She pleaded not guilty to manslaughter charges. Officers say she was extremely intoxicated at the time of the crash Wednesday evening in North Portland. She's being held without bail. Her next court date is scheduled for Monday. And teachers in the Salem-Keizer district have voted to authorize a strike if their union cannot reach a deal with the school district. This follows about 10 months of negotiations with the union and district declaring an impasse last month. Sticking points here include class sizes and teacher workloads. The district is currently facing a $30 million budget shortfall. Teachers could strike as soon as the first week of April. We continue to follow developments in Russia tonight after gunmen attacked a concert hall outside of Moscow. According to the latest numbers from Russian officials, more than 60 people are dead and more than 100 injured. A warning, some of the images you're about to see are disturbing. NBC's Matt Bradley with the update.
Tonight, terror strikes Russia's capital. Islamic State claimed responsibility for an attack on a concert hall in Moscow, where at least 3 gunmen wearing camouflage opened fire. The terror group claimed responsibility on Telegram. NBC News hasn't been able to verify their claim. The gunmen reportedly threw bombs inside the theater, targeting a sold-out house at Crocus City Hall, a concert venue that seats a maximum of nearly 10,000 people. We heard gunshots. At first, we didn't understand what had happened, said this eyewitness. Then the terrorists came in and started shooting everyone. The attack set the huge theater ablaze. Emergency workers are still struggling to put out the fire and save whoever remains inside, deploying helicopters to try to rescue people from the building's roof, which has partially collapsed. The attacks come 2 weeks after the U.S. Embassy in Moscow warned Americans about terrorism, telling them to avoid concerts and places with large crowds. But the identity and fate of the terrorists remain unclear. But Russia's government has a long list of enemies. Earlier this week, Russian President Vladimir Putin won a 3rd term as president after elections many observers said were rigged and that some voters protested. Putin's controversial war in Ukraine is now in its 3rd year. Just today, Russia launched a barrage of 165 missiles and drones at Ukraine in one of its largest salvos yet, targeting the country's energy grid. The White House tonight cautioned against linking Ukraine to the attack, but as the death toll rises, so too will demands for justice.
Matt Bradley reporting there. Ukraine has denied any involvement, U.S. officials adding that they shared information with Moscow about a potential terrorist attack earlier this month. Also in international headlines this evening, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, announced today that she has been diagnosed with cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy. The princess was hospitalized for almost 2 weeks after she had major abdominal surgery in January, leading to significant speculation in the British media. In her video message, Kate said doctors initially did not think she had cancer, but tests confirmed she does.
This, of course, came as a huge shock. And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
The princess added she was well and getting stronger, and while she didn't specify the type of cancer, she called the course of chemo, quote, preventative. Back in the Northwest, we're keeping an eye on health concerns created by a sewage leak in North Portland, one that blocked off a road and prompted warnings to stay out of the water. John Adams is in the newsroom. So, John, what is behind the leak?
Yeah, David, city officials say an underground pressurized pipe in a pump station ruptured, leading to what they're calling a large-scale sewage release. Now, as of tonight, they say they have the sewage contained, but the leak is still happening.
On Thursday, city crews responded to the burst sewage pipe underneath the North Columbia Boulevard overpass. Part of the sewage leaked out onto the road and made its way into the nearby Columbia Slough. Crews worked overnight to contain it.
So what's happening is the sewage that is bubbling up from the ground at the base of an overpass is being contained and then pumped right back into our system. So we're preventing that continued overflow to public spaces.
Because sewage was flowing underneath the overpass, the city has closed North Columbia Boulevard between North Rivergate and North Burgard.
City engineers are working to assess whether there is any damage to the bridge itself, and any vehicle traffic over that would only cause more damage if there is any.
Officials are also warning people to stay out of the water of the Columbia Slough. There is good news, though, for customers in that area.
And what's important is that service continues. There is no interruption. People can continue to put things down the sink and to flush their toilets in that service area, which is largely industrial. And so we are continuing service while we are making repairs.
Well, officials say the overpass will reopen as soon as it is deemed safe by engineers, but it will likely take up to 2 weeks to repair that pipe, which is underground in a hard-to-reach location. David?
2 weeks. Wow. Glad they have it contained, though. Thank you, John. Oregon's governor is now looking for a new chief of staff after her current one announced today she would be stepping down, though it is unclear if she was forced out or not. Andrea Cooper is planning to leave office effective March 29th. Cooper started as Kotek's chief of staff in 2022 after serving for former Governor Kate Brown as deputy chief of staff. Cooper said she is proud of the work she's done. It's been an honor, she said, serving under 2 different governors. The Oregonian and OPB reporting at least 2 other key positions in the governor's office are also in flux.